It's your boy Shazane coming at you live after a very, very long time. And today I kind of want to just talk to you guys about this well, not really new, but this entrepreneurial pursuit that I have been on as of recently. And it has to do with the whole, making money online kind of thing. And, if you've looked into this, if you've researched, how ways to make money online, you've probably come across things like Shopify, dropshipping, Amazon FBA, things like that. And while those are great options, a lot of them actually require quite a bit of upfront work and capital. So if you're sort of on a budget, but you still want to, I guess, invest, um, then what you can do is sort of what I do with this stuff I have going on. Um, so basically, with what I'm doing, you can sort of, there's people out there who make, $100, $200 a day maybe, and yeah, it gets a bit crazier too. Like you have people making like two, three, four, five, even $10,000 a day doing this. And I know it sounds like a complete scam right now, but just bear with me, and I'll try to get through explaining it the best I can, how I do it, and how you guys can sort of get in on it too. But basically, what I'm talking about is penny stocks, okay? And I know that I just said that, it's not a scam, and then I mentioned penny stocks, and a lot of you guys are like, well, that's a fucking scam. Just hear me out. I know if you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, it's sort of they get a really bad rep, especially from that movie, in the sense that they're all sort of pump and dumps, and they're all just like really scammy stocks, and they're like the scum of the earth, and basically you should never really touch them unless you're like actively trying to lose all your money for whatever reason that may be. And while I'm here to tell you that that is true mostly, but there are ways that you can sort of um, learn, I guess, chart patterns and technical analysis, which is analyzing sort of different price points and where good areas to buy and sell are, and then trading psychology. And when you combine those three things, you can sort of create a trading strategy in which you will actually be profitable a lot of the time. So basically, penny stocks are, stocks that trade for under $5. And why they are so lucrative, or why they can be so lucrative, is because you can just buy like a ton of shares for a really cheap amount, and it just moves like a few cents, and you bank like, let's say, 10 cents per like 10,000. Let's say you buy 10,000 shares, the thing it moves like 10 cents. You just made like a good deal of money right there. But on the contrary, you can lose that much as well. So definitely something that you still have to like research before getting into and sort of learn and study, but something that can also be very lucrative if you learn how to do it properly. So a bit of my trading history is I started about 6 or 7 months ago with around 2K in my account, and surprisingly, I successfully managed to get it all the way to a whopping $500. That's right. When I started off, I lost $1,500 over the course of just like I guess like 3 months, I think it was. And at that point, any sane person would have been like, this isn't working for me. It's not right. It's probably just a scam. Whoever out there is sort of like pushing for it, they're probably trying to get something out of you doing it. But I kind of just like composed myself and thought, like, I had like this introspective conversation with myself, where I was like, okay, you're not doing what you should be doing. There's money to be made out here. People are doing it. You're just not doing it right, and you have to figure it out. And that was kind of my turning point, where I sort of just sat down and I actually studied and learned, and looked at chart patterns and looked at chart pattern histories, and I started studying like support and resistance areas. I started predicting where a stock would break out during market hours without actually playing them. And I wasn't really trading at this point. I was kind of just sitting back watching and learning as much as I could. And then finally, I jumped back into it, and since then, I have managed to grow my account from $500 to about $6,200. Okay, and that's just over the course of like 3 or 4 months. So, which is like really good returns. Big time investors, people who sort of invest in uh, like their 401ks and mutual funds, they in the hedge funds, they really look for like 10% returns. Like that's really good for them throughout the year. Okay, so when you're making 10% in a day, that's fucking amazing. You know, um, and while 10% is a year is great for people with like that much money who invest like maybe 10 million, $100 million, but for someone who has like maybe 10K, 100K, that's nothing. Why not just get sort of hands on, just do a little bit of studying, and sort of make that much every day. Now, is it possible to make that much every day? Yes, 100%. It is possible. It is also possible to lose that much playing penny stocks every day. My biggest trade was I made around $700, and that was just over the course of like 1 minute, which is like why it appeals to me so much. It's just like a quick cash that you can make if you just get in on the right thing. Okay, and these sort of like spikes where you can make so much money happen, like every day. As of recently, the market has been a little slow just because overall there was a huge market crash, or not a crash, I should say, like a pullback just over the Dow and Nasdaq. Just performed really poorly, and that also affected the penny stock market. But a lot of the times, there's like three or four like penny stocks at least that sort of go on at least these 70, 80, 90% runs. Some go on like 100, 200, 300% over just the course of a few days. So if you can learn to find them, if you can learn to look for good entry and exit points, that's definitely something that you should give a shot. So just to sort of wrap up, maybe not wrap up, but just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. So today I made a trade. It was on the stock CATB. Oh, I forgot to float this to the top. Give me a second. You float on top. Okay. Sorry. You guys probably don't even want to see my face, but I don't know. CATB. This is what I played today. Okay, and I made almost $200 trading this. I made $187, and I did it with a $2,000 account, which is great. That's almost 10%. If I'd held, I would have actually made around $600. But I am a huge wuss when it comes to holding. I cannot hold for like more than 5 minutes for the life of me. Okay, so I'll just sort of, if you are a penny stock trader, I'll just kind of give you some insight as to why I traded this. Or if you want to get into it, I'll give you a little bit of, information as to what you can possibly look for to sort of make similar trades, because chart patterns essentially repeat themselves. And if you don't know what I'm saying, don't worry. I did not know what the fuck any of that meant like 6 months ago. I'd kind of just look at this chart over here and be like, what the fuck is that? I don't know what's going on. Just like green lines, red lines, up and down. And, I didn't know anything. It was a mess, and it looked like a foreign language to me. But, if you study a foreign language long enough, you can begin to become fluent in it and learn it and, eventually speak it. So, similarly, this right here, this is the language of making money. Okay, all this right here. Okay, not that, but you get what I'm saying. So basically, the trade I took today was this stock had sort of news on it, so it kind of spiked during pre-market hours, and what that means is this gray area. So before market actually opens, you can trade if you want to. A lot of people will take trades before the market opens if there's some sort of news on the stock. So this obviously had good news. I honestly forgot what it was. I am not very much of a fundamental trader whatsoever, so I kind of just focused on the technicals. And what I saw for the technicals, technical analysis is just basically looking at different price points, why and the movement of price and why it moves the way it does. But so pre-market, it had a spike and it came back down and it came to around this level, and then it tested this 180 mark, and I keep saying like you guys know, but you probably don't know, so I'll try to stop saying it. 175. The price is over here on the right. This is the price, and the time is down here. So, you know, I just did it again. My bad. Okay, fuck. I'm done. That was the last time. So 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm just gonna say okay instead of. Hopefully that'll help me and you. So 7:30, Jesus Christ. Okay, 7:30, it tests this 178 mark. It comes down here, tests this 178 mark again, okay? And it doesn't break it. So what does that mean? That means that that area is a resistance, meaning the stock has trouble basically getting past that area. And in penny stocks, resistance is the area that the price has trouble getting above, and support is an area that the stock is basically supported by. It's kind of self-explanatory. So I guess you could kind of call this support if you had to. Usually you want a few more areas where the stock kind of bounces off of to call that support. But just for the sake of this video, we'll call this support, okay? But essentially what happened when the market opened, so over here, is I was looking for it to break that area that it couldn't break before, okay? So once it broke that 180 mark, I waited till it got to 184. Honestly, I don't know why I did that, but 180 would have been, or 181 would have been a much better entry for me. I waited till 184, and I wrote it up to just over here. 201 is where I sold. So I was actually having a lot of trouble selling just because I entered my shares incorrectly. So that was a huge mistake on my part. I could have made just like another about, I want to say like $70 or $80 just if I had timed it uh, properly for this minute. And if I had held completely, I would have banked like I think around $600. But I'm a huge wuss when it comes to holding. I can't hold like I said earlier. And I had a trading plan. I had a strategy. I stuck to it. I made 10%. And I'm happy with that. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy, because if you don't have that, you really have nothing in penny stocks. Okay, so I just want to finish going over this. So 8:37, time down here is where I bought in when it crossed 184, and I sold at 8:39 at 201. So in 2 minutes, I made $200 almost. That's $100 a minute. Yesterday, I traded. I made $80, and that was with like a much larger position, about like $3,800. Again, I could have made more, but I didn't hold. That's something personally I have to work on. But sorry, that just goes to show like what you can do in the penny stock market. This is one of the quite a few stocks that ran today. Another one was APRN. This one did a similar thing where you can see it tested this resistance area pre-market, and when it broke that, went on a run. Another one, I think the biggest one was AQMS. I want to say, yeah, this guy ripped like crazy today. Um, a lot of the times you miss like the big rips in the morning, but that's fine, because you just, when you study chart patterns, you can find an infinite number of entry points to get in and bank on, and that's sort of just what I want to cover today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got some information out of it. Maybe this motivated some of you guys to get into penny stock trading, or just sort of pursue, some sort of online money making thing. I do plan to keep sharing trades and just trading strategies with you guys. So if that's something you'd be into, just give it a like and subscribe and comment if you have any questions. And I'll stay posted, and you guys should too. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you.